It is certainly something that has been banded around an awful lot in terms of the idea that we're a few seconds now to World War III or nuclear catastrophe or what have you. He's accused Zelensky a number of times of not being, not really wanting a ceasefire, not wanting negotiations, that Zelensky is still maintaining the militaristic point that he's trying to make. So Donald Trump is allegedly believes in peace. He seems to be wanting a Nobel Peace Prize, and the way to do that is to solve, in his mind, the Russian-Ukrainian war and also the Middle East. And he's been very clear that now is the time to begin talks, that this war isn't going to end militarily, it's going to end with a ceasefire. But we have seen that he it appears, prepared to bully Ukraine into a ceasefire that may benefit it or not. It doesn't necessarily matter for Donald Trump. Whereas he isn't going to do that for Putin and for Russia. I think certainly Trump is underestimating Putin, and this is a tragedy because Putin has shown that he should never be underestimated. Donald Trump believes he can do a deal. We've seen Marco Rubio said very quickly after the meeting between America and Ukraine in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia that the ball is in Russia's court. So that ball was sent straight back again to the Ukrainians and plausibly to the Americans. The American administration also said that if Putin isn't prepared for a ceasefire, then they will instigate sanctions against him. Putin has come back and said that there may be a ceasefire where we don't attack each other's energy infrastructure. That's not the same as the ceasefire that would last for 30 days, where there would be no military incursions by either side. So that flies in the face of what Donald Trump has been saying, that apparently Vladimir Putin wants peace, that Russia is very close to getting peace, that the deal has almost been done. He said before they had that conversation that there'd been a lot of great work over the weekend and we were very close to a deal. And then after the conversation, it said, well, we'll meet up on the 26th of March, if my memory serves me correctly, in Saudi Arabia, and we'll do a deal. I would love to have Donald Trump's confidence that a deal can be done. However, I remain highly reticent. As far as I can see, the fact that he hasn't sold the Ukrainians out, and that is a positive, but that remains a very plausible scenario that he will do so in the future. Yes, Donald Trump can leave Europe to deal with the crisis, the war, what he's left behind. It seems to be quite clear that the Americans are prepared, or sorry, the Trump administration is prepared to leave Ukraine high and dry. That America is prepared to leave Europe. I mean, there's been reports that the European Command under NATO, which has been led by an American general ever since the Second World War, so the creation of NATO back in the 1950s, has been led by an American general, that America may no longer send a general to be head of European Command. There's been talk that the Europeans have to do much more. NATO, we don't know whether NATO is going to be around for a lot longer. De facto, I think at the moment we can say that NATO is certainly on its last legs. I can't imagine under this administration that, say, Estonia or Latvia were to be attacked tomorrow. I'm not necessarily certain that there would be American troops coming in. And even if there is a more Atlanticist president, let's say in 4 or 8 years' time, there's always going to be that feeling amongst Europeans: are the Americans going to come for us? At the same time, Donald Trump wants a deal. That's quite clear, and he's willing to do a deal fairly quickly. He said he could get a deal done on the first day of his presidency. Then it was 110 days, and it went down to 100 days. Now it will be by the end of next month. Who knows? But he seems to be very clear that he wants a deal done, and he would be able to try. He would try and sell any deal that he makes with as a victory for America, that America has got itself out of this war, between the proxy war between America and Russia, and that he has brought peace to Europe. The fact that whether he has or not is irrelevant. He can sell it like that. And certainly, I think we are seeing that America is becoming less interested in Europe and in supporting Europe. Ukraine's concessions for peace would be acceptance of the loss of territory. They de facto recognize that Crimea, Donetsk, Luhansk, the areas occupied by Russia in Kherson and Zaporizhia are gone. De jure, they would want it back, but they admit that they won't be able to do that militarily, that they will want it back through diplomatic means, similar to West Germany and East Germany back in the Cold War. Both sides claimed that let's say you're in Bonn in West Germany, that East Germany is German territory, but you agree that the West German army isn't going to be able to beat the Red Army, and therefore you will try and get East Germany back through diplomatic means. That's similar to what Ukraine is doing. So Ukraine is accepting of the loss of territory. That's indeed true. In terms of what else Ukraine can accept, I think that Ukraine has more leeway to be able to accept certain things that would come probably principally from the loss of territory. That's more than Russia is willing to let go in terms of finding a solution to this conflict. So there is a lot that perhaps Kiev could give up, but certainly territory is one of the things that they've been quite clear about. They do not de facto believe that they can get it back anytime soon. And that is at least something that Ukraine is willing to give up in terms of trying to end these hostilities. As I say, the Kremlin isn't prepared to do that at the moment. And I think this is the sticking point in terms of the fact that it's the Kremlin that will make it harder for a peace deal that isn't just Ukrainian capitulation to be signed. Vladimir Putin keeps everyone waiting. That's how he portrays himself as powerful, keeping other people waiting. It's important for Russian propaganda that they are able to sit down with the Americans, that the Americans need them. So the idea that Trump called Putin, as happened not this time, well, it happened this time, but also in the past as well. The idea that America needs Russia, that plays very well to the Russian electorate. Also, so I think that's certainly something that Putin will continue to play. And Putin is very good, very adept at spinning out negotiations just for the need to talk. He doesn't actually aim to give anything. We saw that today, the idea, so yesterday, the idea that it's going to be a 30-day ceasefire on attacking energy infrastructure. And also there's going to be an all-star game between National Hockey League players and Continental Hockey League players from America, Canada, and Russia. I mean, that's not a major concession. It was just something that Putin threw out there, but Trump took it as a major concession, this idea that there's going to be an all-star game of hockey players. So this is something that Putin will continually do because it helps him legitimize himself amongst Russians that America needs Russia. And at the moment, I think that he believes that he can make very limited concessions, and Donald Trump will claim this as a victory and will continue the talking in the hope that he can find a solution that benefits, well, ultimately Donald Trump. So I can imagine that Putin is enjoying the moment currently, and I imagine that Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin will continue to keep talking without actually any actions really occurring.